They're just, I know that this is putting it very simply, but they're just so tough to beat. I used to talk about Serena Williams when she was in her prime, and a lot of, great rivals and, major championships. I was watching tennis then. I'm really not anymore. It's a big deal in our house. And so we'd watch all these slams and there's Serena Williams. And there were lots of times when one of her many great rivals looked like they had her and you could fall for it. Like in wrestling, in wrestling, there's probably going to be some dramatic twist at the end. In tennis or in football, you just don't know that. So lots of times she was on the ropes, but they couldn't beat her. When it was a big one, she would figure out a way to do it. And that's these guys. Yes, there are a handful of games that were amazing that they didn't win, and they still have the playoff hurdle, and that doesn't change at all yesterday or today, except for that maybe Baltimore's reputation is just that much more enhanced by losing this game. Sort of takes you back to the playoffs and brings up their failures. But that's Baltimore. This team, their last home loss is that Denver game with Ken Dorsey was calling plays. They're just so tough to beat. Think about last year. They lose 4 games. The Ravens pretty much clobbered them. And the Bills have only a couple of those. Yep. When they lose, it's usually close. So they've only had a couple of those through the years. The Texans game was kind of a fluke. They were in pretty good shape in that game. Even though they couldn't do anything, they still just had a 60-yard field goal, and just a couple of things went wrong. It's the Rams.
That was almost a game of the year candidate.
Yes, 44-42
right.
is the Rams score. They give up a block punt touchdown, but really are unstoppable and still lose that game. And then it's Kansas City in the playoffs, which doesn't get much closer than that. They're just so tough to beat.